Welcome to week 3 of the Living Well Peak Mind Challenge. At this point, we've had quite a number of opportunities to find our focus, and what I mean by that is essentially steady and anchor our attention, use our attention in a very narrowed and specific manner. We've also had the opportunity to move our attention and use it as a way to observe body sensations that can arise quite frequently, especially when there are strong emotions involved. Now, with this familiarity with practices, we want to continue adding to our toolkit. And this week, you're going to learn yet another practice, which is actually sort of a different category of practice. Unlike the past two practices where you've narrowed, steadied, and even moved the flashlight of your attention, this week's practice is going to offer an opportunity to broaden and remain steady, but take an observational stance toward all mental content. So it won't be about noticing the mind wandering away and returning it. It'll be really regarding staying steady and stable to allow all mental content to arise and pass away. The term I use for this practice, formerly called the open monitoring practice, is the river of thought practice. And this week, it will be interleaved with the find your flashlight practice. The river of thought practice is really named that way because I wanted to emphasize this notion of steadiness and stability, almost like if you were sitting on a strong, big boulder on the side of a riverbank. And observe all that arises and occurs within sort of the river of thought. So if you imagine yourself sitting on that boulder and you imagine the river before you as mental content, whatever it is that occurs within our conscious experience, thoughts, memories, sensations, whatever it is that arises, it will become present in the river and then it will pass away. And the intention here is to really notice our tendency of mind to engage with mental content when it arises. We don't simply notice a leaf in the river. We may want to chase it. And we're not doing that in this practice. We are instead going to take care to keep ourselves steady, pay attention to the river of thought, and allow mental phenomenon to appear and then pass away naturally. We're not trying to contrive any specific experience here. We're simply present for whatever it is that occurs. Now, while doing this practice, you might find that it's difficult to do this, and you might get stuck in a ruminative loop or down a path of thinking, for example. If and when that happens, and it can happen quite frequently, remember you can always go back to the find your flashlight approach. You can take a few moments, steady or anchor your attention on the sensations of breathing. Keep your mind focused there. And then once you feel prepared with the steadiness of mind, you can return back to the river of thought practice. Now, like all of our practices, we're not simply doing this to be somehow Olympic level breath followers or body sensation noticers or even knowing the mental contents of our mind for some abstract reason. We're doing this to benefit our lived daily lives. And like those other practices, this practice too can be beneficial to our day-to-day lives. Think about what it means to be aware of a situation, right? There's a broad receptivity regarding what's occurring. And what we're adding to our own toolkit by this practice is adding to our situational awareness by not simply only observing the contents in the external environment, but getting a sense of the strong internal situational awareness. What is transpiring within my own mind? And checking in with ourselves repeatedly throughout the day as the habit of doing this takes hold can be very, very beneficial. We can begin to understand what is present in our lives moment by moment, which again gives us a lot more data to work with so that we can make decisions that may benefit and advantage what we do next. So this week, I'm excited for you to have more opportunities guided by this wonderful team. And this will give you an opportunity to learn about and practice the river of thought exercise to add to your own toolkit. And I wish you all the best on your continued peak mind journey.